Hey 8th grade, welcome to day 2. So I just wanted to walk you through what you're expected to do today. So I'm in my 8th grade classroom. I'm going to click on the classwork tab. Remember that you always have this agenda at the top that kind of takes you through what I'm about to go over with you anyway. We tried to just give you like a heads up as far as what your expectations are for each day. But again, I'm going to walk you through that as well. So I'm going to scroll down to week 1, day 2. The first thing you would do is make sure you complete your attendance and submit it. That's going to be scheduled at 8 a.m. So I know, I think just because everyone was logging on at the same time, my attendance didn't post until like 8:01 or something like that. So just be mindful that it's coming. Make sure you get that in because we are checking that you're signing in every morning. So just make sure you complete that. That should be like your top priority every time. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to go to the lesson. So I'm going to click on that to show you what that looks like. Okay, and today we're going to be continuing to explore scatter plots by examining real-world examples. So for the warm-up, you're going to just complete the task for yourself to have a nice little go-to resource for scatter plots. So you're going to take a piece of computer paper like this, right? And you're going to fold it in half. So I'll show you. It's a little difficult to do with one hand, but I'll do the best I can. Not bad. Okay, so like a book, right? And then you're going to fold it into 3 sections. So I'm definitely not going to do that perfectly with one hand, but we'll make 1 section and then fold again and make a 3rd section. Okay, so we have something like that, right? Then you're going to label the front covers. You're going to label them positive correlation, negative correlation, and no correlation. So positive, negative, and none. So it should look like this. Okay? Then once you have that, on the inside flaps, you're going to draw what the graph looks like of that correlation, and then you're going to write a sentence or an example describing the relationship in words. So here's my foldable. I'm going to open it up. And on the left side, I'm going to draw my model. I didn't draw them because that's your responsibility. You should know what those look like by now. And then you're going to write a sentence. So this was just an example. If you wanted to use it, you can, where you're describing the relationship of each of the correlations. Or you could put one of the real-world examples we used from yesterday's lesson. Okay? And then you'll wind up having this lovely foldable to use as a reference while you're doing your homework, your practice sheets, your lessons, anything of the sort. Okay, so that should be the first thing that you do. We're not requiring you to send us a picture, but if you would like to, we'd be very happy to see them. Once you're done with that, you're going to move on to the second activity. So this activity is the ice cream sales activity, where you're going to find a copy of this assignment in the classroom. So I'll go to that in a second. I just want to explain to you what the assignment is. So when it's completed, you're going to take a picture of it and upload it. If you're unable to do this, please contact us. So we had a little bit of issues with that today. We definitely will work with you to figure out a way to get that picture of your graph. Most of you were able to figure out some way to show it to us, whether it was on the actual classroom or sending it through Pupil Path or any other way. So we'll make it work. Just bear with us, okay? So the problem that we are looking at is about a local ice cream parlor keeping track of how much ice cream they sell compared to the noon temperature that day. And these are the figures for the 16 days in June. So they give us this table. And if you notice, they're not in like any kind of order because this is real world data. So, the temperature varies every day. It doesn't follow a constant rate like we were focusing on with linear functions. So the data is sporadic right now, but we're going to use this data to create a scatter plot and see if there is any kind of trend to the data. Okay, so I'm going to just X out of this for now because, okay, I'll show you where the assignment is. So On that same tab for day 2, there's the ice cream activity. You click on it, you'll see the assignment, and then you will see the same table I was just showing you and the graph. So if you are able to print this, it might be easier because the graph's already there for you and the table's right next to it. It might be like an easier way for you to complete this assignment. Some of you might not have printers at home, so I think you could probably use the Desmos app, the Desmos.com website, or if you have your own graph paper at home, you could do that too. If you want to approximate it on a piece of paper, I know that, like, you know, it's a little tough given the circumstances, so we understand what's going on, guys. So whatever you can do, we'll work with you, and if you have any questions or problems or issues, just contact us on the stream or any other method of contact that would be of assistance for us to help you figure out how you can go about submitting this, okay? So I just want to give you a little heads up. Looking at this data, the numbers are sporadic, like I said, but I'm going to give you a hint. The way to make this data come out pretty nicely on your graph is by using something called a break. So I'm looking at the X column, and it's about the temperatures. What I would do is I find my lowest temperature in that column. So my lowest temperature is 50. So all the other numbers before 50 I don't really need. I need to start at 50, and then it looks like my highest temperature is 90. So I only need the numbers between 50 to 90. So then I would decide what I want to count by given my graph. If you use this graph, we might need to count by 5s. If you can count by a smaller number, that's fine too. It'll be a little less approximating for you. But I just want to go over that graph, the break situation. So I have my graph here, similar to what you see on your screen. And again, for my x-axis, my smallest number is 50, and I go up to 90. So I don't need the numbers before 50. So what you do is you make this little squiggle line. It's called a break. And it allows you to skip all the numbers between 0 and whatever number you want to start at. So we want to start at 50 because I don't need any other numbers before that. And then from here, I can then decide what interval I want to count by. So I need to make sure that I count by whatever interval is going to allow me to have enough space to get to 90 at the end. So I'm not really sure. Let me see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. The 5 would be too little, so maybe I would count by 2s, by 3s, whatever. I'm going to leave that up to you guys to figure out. But you should be using a break because then your data will be much more obvious as far as what correlation is shown. And you would do the same thing for your Y values. The lowest Y value in this table is 185. And it looks like the highest value is maybe 750. You can double check me on that. So again, I would do a break. I would start at 185, and then I would count by some number, whatever number I decide, that's going to allow me to get to 750. This is obviously a larger span, so I would need to count by a larger number. But that would be how you can graph all of your data without making this like crazy huge graph given the numbers that are provided for this activity. Okay, so I'm going to leave you at that. So that's that assignment. I'm going to go back to the lesson to just tell you what else you're responsible for today. So we did the warm-up. I showed you how to do the foldable. I went through the ice cream activity for you, and then I showed you where that is in the assignments. So again, if you have a printer, it might be easy just to print it. If not, maybe try Desmos.com. If that doesn't work, use your own graph paper, sketch your own graph, whatever works so that you can complete this and upload it to the assignment so that we can give you a grade for this particular activity, okay? Once you're done with that, we have a Think Right Pair Share about this graph that you just created about the ice cream parlor. So the way you're going to answer the Think Right Pair Share, since obviously we're working individually, is you are going to answer the prompt questions in the stream, okay? Most of you were able to do that tonight, but some of you struggled with that. I saw some of you didn't complete it, so please make sure that you're paying attention to the stream. There is a scheduled announcement to go out at 8 a.m. with these question prompts for you to answer. So you're going to see this screenshot in the announcement, and then underneath you're going to respond with the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 and an answer to these 4 questions based on the graph that you just made about the ice cream parlor. Okay, we do have that you add a comment to 2 of your peers, but if you don't get to that, that's okay. We really just want to see your answers for the 4 questions in this Think Right Pair Share activity. So the Think Right Pair Share, it's in the lesson. It also will be posted on the stream as a screenshot for you to answer those questions. And that is it for today. So I'm just going to go through it one more time. Here's week 1, day 2. First thing you want to do is complete your attendance. Second thing you'll do is go to the lesson. You'll create your foldable for the warm-up. You'll get started on your ice cream sale activity. You can click on this tab and find that activity here for you to upload and submit. You will then go to the stream. There will be those questions from the Think Right Pair Share for you to answer based on your ice cream sales scatter plot. And then the final thing you'll do is answer homework for day 2 on March 24th. And please make sure you submit that as well. Okay, I hope this helps, guys, and I will talk to you soon. Have a good night.